They put it into Jimmy's car and they drive miles away and they put the body in the bayou.
It was bad enough that Jimmy was murdered by Juan, but then to just take his body and dump it in the bayou with such careless disregard, just vicious.
With the body now taken care of, they believe they're home free.
I think they felt like Jimmy's existence wasn't very important to anyone, and him being missing wouldn't get anyone's attention, so they could go on and live on his property and in his house without anyone being suspicious.
But little do they know, Jimmy's sister went right to the authorities.
She immediately notified the police that her brother was missing and that she suspects that there had been some foul play.
I spoke with Jimmy's sister, and based on what she told me, I felt it was pretty solid evidence indicating the suspects were Juan, Carino, and Sierra.
When investigators arrive at the house, they find the teenagers are surprisingly cooperative.
Myself and my partner went to the residence, and after speaking with them briefly, Juan and Carino voluntarily agreed to come give statements. But Sierra stayed at the residence because she didn't have anyone to leave her children with.
Initially, the young men stick to a similar story and deny knowing anything about Jimmy's disappearance. So Detective Jones tries another approach.
We asked both to submit to polygraph exams, which they agreed to, and the polygraph exams showed deception on their part, so we interviewed them again.
Caught in their lies, Carino and Juan come clean. They are both charged with murder, but Sierra's name never comes out of their mouths, so the detectives are still not sure if she's involved. That is, until later that evening, when they talk to her directly.
She admitted that she was aware that Juan was going to murder Jimmy. She was present at the house prior to the murder, and then she packed up her children and left.
What do you want me to do? I don't know what else to say.
It's really astonishing how quickly the three of them actually confessed to his murder. I think this speaks tremendously of the guilt that they felt. It was overwhelming for them.
Juan Lopez, Carino Ratcliffe, and Sierra Jacobs are each charged with capital murder. While awaiting their pretrial hearings, Sierra decides to accept a plea deal with a lesser charge.
Instead of capital murder, Sierra pled guilty to tampering with a human corpse.
She is sentenced to just 10 years, but her boyfriend and her little brother aren't as fortunate.
The judge called this one of the most horrendous murders he'd ever seen, and Juan ended up receiving a life sentence with no parole.
And Carino received 40 years in the Texas Department of Corrections.
Sierra was a young girl who was